Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom.
People in every part of the globe are perishing because their judgment is low. From children to teens to elderly folks, this epidemic is incredibly bold. Wisdom is needed to see through the fog. Without it, we'll stumble and see to the long. You're jumping without something to break and fall if you choose to ignore wisdom's beckoning call. The only people who will lose the war are those who don't know who they're fighting for. You are the only one who can decide your fate. Don't waste your life when you can live inside of grace. If we turn to God and behold his shining face, we will gain traction and run in this human race.
Hey, what's going on? JC Johnson here for The Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. And on today's show, we're going to be taking a look at the 40-Day Fire lecture series. More on that after this.
Beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom.
All right, welcome back. You are listening to North Coast Underground, where the underground starts with you. And I'm JC Johnson for The Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. Right now we're listening to a lecture on the 40-Day Fire, burning away all that does not resemble your destiny. It was a presentation that was shared with members of AmeriCorps in Washington, D.C., based upon the book, The 40-Day Fire. And I'm glad to be able to share it with you today. I was able to speak with members of AmeriCorps yesterday, and it was an awesome conference. There was tons of great speakers, and I really enjoyed being there. So I'm glad to be able to share it with you. So this is the third and final part of that. And of course, if you missed any of it and you want to be able to check it out, no worries. This is going to be available as a podcast. You'll be able to hear it on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, pretty much anywhere where podcasts can be heard. So don't worry about it. You'll be able to catch it. All right, so here it is, the conclusion of the 40-Day Fire. If you can have a good understanding of what you like to do, you'll know what your purpose is. If you like video games, right, and that's something that you're really passionate about, there's a reason for that. Maybe people tell you you're wasting your time, you're playing all these games, but what if you create something, some sort of computer animation that is helpful to people? You know, something that can save people's lives because you're able to take them through some sort of medical simulation or something like that. You never know where your passion is going to lead you to. I know there's been plenty of times in my life where I just took a step of faith. I said, I don't know what's going to happen if I do this. There's no guarantee that I'll be successful if I do this. But because this is something that I believe in, this is something that I'm passionate about, I'm just going to just go ahead. And it seems that every time you do that, when you take that kind of step, even though you don't see what's ahead of you, whenever you take that kind of step, it's like your path gets just a little bit brighter. You take another step, your path gets just a little bit brighter. And it's like with each step, it's like it reveals your destiny. It reveals your purpose more and more than it did before. So when it comes to setting and achieving impossible goals, you have to remember that there may be something you want to do that seems impossible. Just as I mentioned before with the Wright brothers, they did something that people thought was impossible. They gave human beings the ability to fly, right? There may be something that you want to do that people say is impossible. But just because someone else says it's impossible, make sure that you don't start believing that yourself. Because if you do, then how are you going to do the next great thing that's going to benefit society? So dream as big as you can. And once you've done that, start all over again. Dream even bigger. And that's how you'll find yourself at the very place in your life that you need to be. Just a couple more things before we conclude this portion of today. Delayed gratification is a really important principle, and it's something that I think more people need to be able to tap into. It's something that not everybody understands because we live in this fast food society.
We want everything now. We want everything quick. You know, back in the day, depending on how old you are, you know, there was a time when, you know, it was exciting to go to the video store. You go to Blockbuster Video and, you know, you walk through the aisles and you pick up the VHS tapes or whatever. You know, you're looking through, you're like, wow, this seems like it's going to be a good one. Or maybe you go to the movies and you say, well, that was a really good movie. I can't wait for it to come out on video. And it seemed like, I don't know, like 6 months later or something, it would be out. And people would still go buy it. They would wait for it. But now, it's like, oh, this movie comes out next week. I'm going to look at it today on my phone, right? We live in this society where everything is now. But the important thing that you have to remember is this. If you want to achieve oven-baked goals, you can't put in microwave effort. Take that with you. That's true. All right, your career versus your calling. We touched on this a little bit before. You have to remember this. Your career, this is something that you do to make money, right? Maybe this is a professional job. Maybe you're a dentist or a lawyer or a doctor. You know, you're in a well-respected profession. Maybe you're making $100K a year or more, maybe even millions of dollars, right? Maybe this is a very lucrative career. But the difference between a career and a calling is no matter how much money you make or how much prestige you have, if it's something that doesn't fulfill you, if it's something that doesn't make you feel like life is worth living, then you're probably in the wrong field. So if you feel that way now, I'm not saying quit AmeriCorps. Stay in this program. But what I'm saying is, in general, for the future, after this is done, make sure that you don't get stuck doing something that you hate. Why would you want to spend your life like this guy? You know, he's just at this cubicle wishing that he was on a beach surfing because that's what he really enjoys. But he's never going to be on the beach because he doesn't believe enough in his goals and his dreams to get out the chair. Don't let that be you. Always live out your dreams. And working together, purposeful collaborations. This is really important. You know, as the cheesy expression, but true expression goes, teamwork makes the... It does. It's true. It's true. When you work together, because no matter how skilled you are, no matter how good you are at something, you're not going to get to where you want to get to in life by yourself. As brilliant as anyone is, they still need a team of people around them to help them to take their ideas to the next level. So make sure that you surround yourself with the right people. Surround yourself with people that believe in you. And make sure that you also believe in them. Don't be a hater. That's important. You know, if you see somebody, let's say somebody finishes this program and they get this awesome job, something that you consider a dream job. Don't get mad at them. Don't hate on them. Say, you know what? I'm glad that you made it because that shows me that I can make it too. Work together. And then the last thing that I want to share with you today, before we go, this is the most important thing, the importance of integrity. All right. What is this guy doing here? He's chasing after money, right? There are people in this world who will do anything. They will have you killed for $1,000, right? They'll do things because they're jealous of you or because they feel that, you know, for whatever reason, you're making their life hard. But people that look at life this way have a limited perspective. They don't understand that having integrity, doing things the right way, is way more important than anything you can gain by doing something the wrong way. So don't cut corners. You know, don't say, well, I'm going to just, you know, I don't know. If you have an opportunity, let's say, to take an exam, and you say, well, I'm going to copy off somebody else so I can pass this exam. Don't do it. Because one day, that information is going to be required of you. And someone's going to say, well, since you passed the exam, you know the answers, right? And you're going to say, well, I mean, you see what happened was and you'll be found out to be a fraud. Don't let that be you. But even if you fail the right way instead of achieving something the wrong way. And if you remember those principles, just like with Abraham Lincoln, again, like I said before, he said, the only way that I can chop down this tree is by first sharpening the axe and building your character, building your integrity, especially in this season of your life, when you're getting ready for that thing that you ultimately long to do in life. Every decision that you make on a daily basis, all these small things that may seem insignificant are actually really important. These are the things that are going to help you to become successful and to not only become successful, but maintain your success. This is what's going to give you longevity. So Jay-Z said a popular line. He said, if you don't pay your taxes, anyone remember the rest of that line? If you don't pay your taxes, you're hustling backwards. That's what he said, right? Some people, they say, I'm going to cheat on my taxes. I'm going to lie and say I only made, $1,000, even though I made $1 million. Don't do it, because one day it's going to catch up to you. And the IRS, they're not a friendly group of people who are just looking to give you a break. They are serious about stuff like that. So do things the right way. It's going to benefit you in the long run. So the important question to ask yourself is, when you get to where you want to get to in life, who are you going to be? Who are people going to say that you are? What are they going to say about your character? Are they going to say, yes, this is a trustworthy person. This is a person that I would recommend for any position. Yes, this is somebody that I would entrust my life to. Or are they going to say, watch out for that person. That's a sneaky person. Or that's a hater. I don't know if you want to spend much time with them. Don't let that be you. Let people say things about you that are positive, so that even when people have something to say that's negative, everyone will know that it's not true, because they know your character. They know who you really are. All right, so that's pretty much
what's going on. JC Johnson here for the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. Glad you could hang out with me. That was the conclusion of the lecture that I shared with AmeriCorps members at the National Annual Conference yesterday in Washington, D.C. And if you would like to hear that again, definitely check it out. It's going to be available soon as a podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio, anywhere where you can hear podcasts. iHeartRadio as well. If you have an Amazon Alexa enabled device, you can just say, Alexa, play For the Love of Wisdom, and you'll be able to pull that up hands-free. All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with a little bit more for you today. So make sure you don't go anywhere. Enjoy some good music, and let's continue this conversation. You're listening to North Coast Underground.
NorthCoastUnderground.com. The Underground starts with you.
Hey, what's going on? JC Johnson here, and you are listening to For the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. And I'm glad that you could hang out with me this Thursday afternoon. If you're just tuning in, you just heard an encore presentation of a lecture that I shared with the participants in AmeriCorps in Washington, D.C. It was a conference that took place yesterday, and it was awesome. It was awesome. There were a lot of great speakers. There were several people there that had tremendous insight to share, and I was glad to just be in that atmosphere, just to be able to see the impact that it was having. And if you're not familiar with the AmeriCorps program, it is something that you definitely should consider. Maybe you're looking for a job right now, or you're not really even sure what you want to get into in life, but that's definitely something that can, I think, steer you in a great direction. This is something that I have some experience with indirectly, as my wife served in AmeriCorps for 2 years. She served in AmeriCorps state and national, and she really enjoyed it. And I was able to, in this presentation, even share a couple of the things that she got out of being in the program. But the main thing that I really wanted to get across to the AmeriCorps participants is that it is really important that, no matter what you want to do in life, the only way to truly be successful is to take the small steps that are needed to get there, right? You can't just say, I want to be at this place in life tomorrow. right? But you've done nothing to prepare yourself. You've done nothing to set yourself up to even be in that situation, right? That's what you have to do if you want to make tremendous strides in life. You have to make the sacrifices today that are ultimately going to lead you to where you need to get to tomorrow. One thing that I said to the participants that I think really resonated with people is that you can't put in, you can't expect to achieve oven-baked goals by putting in microwave effort. It just doesn't happen. That's not reality, right? We have to remember that in order for us to truly be successful, we have to stay on the narrow road. We got to do those tough things, those things that we may not really feel like doing, but ultimately we know are good for us to do. So if you're in a place in your life where you're really just trying to figure out, like, hey, is what I'm doing right now even my best? Am I living to my maximum potential, or am I wasting time, right? Am I really doing what I'm passionate about, or am I just coasting? Am I just going through the motions because I don't know what else to do? Plenty of people are in that place. I know I've been there many times in my life, and whenever I feel like I'm in that place, that's when I say it's time to get out of this funk, and it's time to really get focused and prepare, because I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my life. I want my life to have meaning, and I believe that I'm here for a reason. I have a purpose in this life, and the only way that I'm going to ever fulfill that is by coming out of my comfort zone. In order to get out of your comfort zone, though, you do have to take that first step, and it may be hard for you, especially if you've been making a series of poor choices, or doing something that has not proved to be beneficial. You get used to that. You get used to those patterns, and you may say, well, I don't know how to break out of this. I don't really know what to do. But the thing is this: no matter how far gone you are, if you're still alive, if you still have breath, the good thing is that it's not too late for you. That's the important thing to remember through it all, that you always have another opportunity. If you mess it up today, you can always make it right tomorrow. So don't be discouraged if you're not at where you think you should be. Maybe when you were 10 years old, you imagined, once I'm 25, I'm going to have graduated from college, I'm going to be married, I'm going to have kids, I'm going to live in another country, whatever it is that you thought you were going to do. You might look at your life now and say, I've achieved not one of those goals that I had set for myself when I was young. And if you feel that way, it can be really discouraging, because you say, wow, I feel like a loser because I'm not anywhere that I thought I was going to be. I feel like I'm wasting my time. But you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm not saying to use that as an excuse to just be complacent and just chill and do nothing. No, you do need to do something. But I'm saying don't let that discourage you. Don't let that get you down and make you feel like a failure, because you're not. If you're not where you need to be or where you think you should be, then the good thing is at least you have room to grow. That means that you still have something to look forward to. That means that you still can go above and beyond where you're at. And even when you do achieve some of those things that you have always wanted to, it doesn't stop there, because the more that you know, the more that you realize you don't know, right? So it's like the more you learn, the more you understand what you need to learn. And it may be uncomfortable at first when you realize how inadequate you truly are, right? If you stay there, if you focus on that, though, it can be discouraging. But if you say and just acknowledge, okay, I don't have it all together, I don't have all the answers, I'm not a perfect person, I don't do everything right. I don't know exactly where I'm supposed to be in life at all times. If you can just be real with yourself, if you can just be honest about where you are and say, I know that there's much more, then that's good. Maybe you need to connect with mentors, or peers who can encourage you to not give up on your dreams, not to give up on your goals, because that is the saddest thing in life, to not go after what you truly believe. But that's all we have time for today. You're listening to For the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets, on North Coast Underground, where the underground starts
God
with
is
you.
the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some.